He's starting to worry about you. You've been in that Airbnb for 2 days now and only left the house to get beer and cigarettes.
And I'm fucked.
To fight your culture shock, he's cooking you amazing curry and introduces you to his fitness routine.
One. Huh?
Laughing together about the awkwardness of the situation loosens you up. You remember why you came here. You find yourself in university. Something with film. It boils down to a mix of posing with camera gear and drinking as often as you can to hide your social anxiety and lack of purpose. Everybody's good at something. Like most people in their 20s, you enter a spiritual phase, in which you devour new agey blog posts and meditation apps for breakfast.
Exhale.
But small-town Europe doesn't do it. Time to seek enlightenment somewhere else. You take your first rickshaw, get scammed into paying way too much, check out a famous building, and have your first meal in a restaurant alone ever.
First impression of this country is colorful, overwhelming. It presses me to the ground, makes me weak, and my self-confidence is...
That night, you remember a story about hippies living in the far west. They seem to be living the dream. The night bus leaves for a 13-hour trip. Enlightened beings, here I come. You don't find the 70s-style hippie enclave you imagine, but a small community of spiritual-minded people on vacation. Introducing Alberto. He's been traveling here since
1982.
1982?
Yes.
Every year?
Yeah, more or less.
So why is it exactly India, not another place?
But not possible to explain India, you know?
That's exactly what you want to hear. So you get up and spend another 8 days meditating at the beach until you get tired of your own bullshit and leave. Let's do this. Time for a road trip. You wake up, leave the hotel, check out beautiful sights, buy a souvenir, take a selfie, and smile. Show everybody on Instagram how cool your life is right now. Get on a train, check out more beautiful sights, get a souvenir, take a selfie, and smile. Get on a bus, check out sights, picture of a cow, go to bed. You will get used to these blackouts very soon. But that night, you get really homesick. Luckily, you discover an app that connects you to nearby travelers. A German guy called Nicky tells you about a hostel he's going to in the south. And you really want to see another German person right now.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
I said it right?
This is not Nicky, it's Pradi. He reached out to you on the app and offered to show you around in his hometown. A couple hours later, you help him and his friends destroy these people's backyard. The leader of the gang? Snake Sham.
If the people are talking about you behind your back, then just fought.
Snake Sham is a local school bus driver, celebrity snake rescuer, and filmmaker who lives uptown with his family and 4 cell phones.
We are trespassers, we are taking all animals' place. Where it will go? It will come to our compound.
How many snakes you have caught? 30,000. When you started this?
I started in 1980.
1980, wow, that's more than 35 years of experience.
Fucking hell.
The snake is cobra. Neurotoxic venom.
Go away.
Many years back, people used to kill snakes. Since few years, they are not killing. One of the reason being they have understood what's the importance of snakes for the nature. Snakes must be saved from people.
Phew! Let's get to Nicky. small village at the southern beaches. That's the Chameleon Lodge, and that would explain the blackouts. Here's Nicky from the app. He's 19 years old and decided to travel here alone. He's still alive today.
Name?
Dennis.
Dennis.
What's your name?
Open.
No pen?
You start making friends.
Hi. Who the fuck are you? What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm taking a picture of you guys.
What are we doing?
Already, you're gonna escape this island.
This is Tom. He decides to build a boat. With the help of your new friends, you gather all necessary materials and start crafting. You gloriously fail. But it doesn't matter. Your mind is somewhere else. Love. Your brain rewires instantly. You forget to breathe in between phases of hyperventilation. You cut off the rest of the world and glide on a stream of bliss. One night, you decide to sleep on the hostel rooftop. Not kidding, there are shooting stars. In the middle of the night, you wake up, and her hand is touching your arm. In hyper slow motion, you put your left hand on hers. Make it look like an accident.
Name.
Dennis.
Dennis.
D.
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 What's your name?
Open.
Nofei? Nice to meet you, Nofei.
After 5 weeks of traveling alone, your whole journey changed into something completely different. With your new family, you travel the surrounding area, learn about local culture, each other, dance at night, and decorate the hostel as only a backpacker would. Dear Diary, the new Star Wars movie sucked.
Ich weiß nicht wirklich, was ich hier mache. Ich bin hier einfach gelandet. Und ja, ich glaube, es wird hier gleich ein Film gedreht.
So that happens. Extras on a Bollywood movie set.
Nutzloseste Situation. Ich stand nur da hinten, stehe da seit 4 Stunden und mache Blitzlichter mit meiner Kamera, obwohl die Batterie von meiner Kamera tot ist.
The scene is something about a fashion show where a model starts crying on the catwalk. These people and the insecurities, right? They ask internationals to sit on the sidelines and pretend to be fashion experts.
This is so boring, really.
But actually you've been worrying about something for the whole day. Your flight home is in a couple days, and you just fell in love. You compare life at home with life here. Flight cancelled. With a girlfriend, your style of traveling slightly changes. Wake up, leave the hotel, shop for jewelry, do lots of henna, nice dinners, go to bed. Get on a train, take care of Nikki, shop for jewelry, visit nice temples, go to bed. Get on a bus, get confused by some symbols, realize it means frugality, be happy.
In India you can find many things. There are many different kind of persons, many religions, different cultures.
Everything feels softer and less intimidating. You're too busy being the strong protector, warrior, cowboy, samurai, Viking for your girlfriend and your Nikki to even remember that you came here as a socially anxious, neurotic idiot. As a team, you discover places you didn't even think of visiting, and in some way get much more out of the experience.
So this is your first time to the desert?
Yeah.
Very good. Jumpy road.
Yeah, it's fine.
A A group of locals take you out into no man's land. You learn that camels are not the most comfortable mode of transportation. But the sound they make when chewing is awfully satisfying. You collect firewood in the surrounding area, learn cooking on a campfire, stuff your bellies with curry, and at night, politely decline singing German lullabies. Now, under the starry sky, with a group of new friends and your girlfriend, you realize you have scared yourself happy. Until your next realization. You just got yourself into a long-distance relationship with a woman that lives 8,000 kilometers away from you.
Today it's cloudy and raining. I miss you.
How to survive a long-distance relationship.
Kiss me.
The last thing she gave you was a sheet with all letters in her language. She's trying to tell you something. So you move back in with your mom and take out your notebook. Net worth, 110 rupees. While you try to get as many freelance filmmaking gigs as possible, you and your girlfriend dwell over recent memories and send each other baby pictures. But long-distance relationships can break your heart slowly, piece by piece.
Hey, fuckface.
Hello, Nikki. How are you?
We're in Korea.
We're together again.
You see, we looked for a Korean house just for the video.
Be safe.
Don't die.
How? You sold everything you own. Last minute dried your laundry on the dashboard on the way to the airport while singing Bryan Adams' Run to You.
Da, da, da. I am ready.
You follow the white rabbit, learn about its culture and home, fall in love with kimchi land. And the Airbnb is quite nice. In the beautiful surroundings of her hometown, you go hiking, weekly, on nearby mountains, visit breathtaking temples, and take trips to the coast. And you party.
She's gone tomorrow.
With your friends and her friends. After a couple of weeks, this stops feeling like a visit, more like you're having a life here.
We're not drunk.
Deeply immersed in the culture, you start shooting mukbang videos, help getting rid of the president, and watch virtual reality porn for the first time in your life. Her parents are proud of you. After 8 months, you saved up enough cash to go on your biggest adventure yet. On a small volcano island, you meet a friend from university.
Did you see the new Star Wars movie already?
New Star Wars movie, and now I think it's now.
Okay.
His friends invite you to a temple ritual, where you learn how the locals celebrate New Year's Eve. Fully dressed. And you receive a big wooden penis. You hop onto the next island. If you ever wondered where they shoot these stock photos of white sand beaches, that's probably it.
Good morning!
And this is Ahmed, one of the friendliest and funniest people you've ever met on your journey. He sells snorkeling tours. Through destroyed coral reefs and sudden bursts of coldness, you find yourself in a vibrant space. A colorful, dreamy space filled with unnecessary adverbs. What? You have an idea. If you could earn money on the road, you could maybe travel forever to places like this. So you try travel vlogging, which basically means people travel the world, make a film about it, and in the end, somehow they get money.
Good job. That's it.
Can you see?
No, I have to edit it first.
Show me. No.
No, I have to edit first.
No.
Look at these palm trees, this beautiful animal, and this house in the jungle.
You give up travel vlogging. A bicycle helmet, Ray Bali glasses, and a fake Honda you got from a guy on Facebook for $200. Time for a road trip. The bike breaks down 10 minutes after departure. Turns out you have to put gasoline in the tank to make it work. Time for a road trip. First stop, a river delta in the south. On a small boat, you enter the floating market, where tropical fruits are sold by people from boat to boat. Up north, You discover a desert in the middle of the tropics, pass by wildfires, stay in eccentric hotel rooms, learn how people make rice paper, discover interesting whiskey brands, and have your first encounter with communist police. The officer says your bike is broken and he has to take it off the road. You argue that everything is okay with it. Suddenly they say your driver's license is invalid. You reply no, it isn't. They come up with new things over and over until your brain starts working. You give them all your cash and move on. You feel like badass gangsters. Heroic world explorers. The perfect team. Four weeks later, you reach the capital. The Airbnb hosts make a big hot pot for you and see you off. This one literally makes you cry. You have never seen nature that beautiful. You roam around impressive cities, explore local pop culture, and have amazing food. And it seems dogs hate people on red bikes. At least you're vaccinated against rabies now. You find yourself in a remote village somewhere up the river. The simplest way of living you can conveniently experience in the 21st century. Trying not to step on undetonated bombs and landmines from a past war, you hike up the nearby mountains to take selfies.
It was hard not because it was like a high mountain. It was hard because it was like a flip-flop.
It is one of the most beautiful sceneries you have ever been to. But after 5 months of non-stop backpacking, you guys have but one thing in your mind. You want to go to Mum. You take a short detour to a famous temple and take off. Your family and girlfriend bond quickly. Next to your mom's house, you find refuge in your late grandmother's place. You take a deep breath. Life is simple again.
Was machen wir zum Frühstück?
Good coffee in the morning, playing with the cats, and figuring out visa stuff and freelance work. A couple weeks later, you even reunite with Nicky. You thank him for luring you down to the Chameleon Lodge where the whole love story began. You celebrate your 2-year anniversary in your first own apartment. For dinner, you go out to eat amazing curry, what else, and end up with diarrhea. Now, in one of the most creative cities on the planet, you can free your artistic spirit and start having a normal life. Six months later, you discover something unexpected. Even the most beautiful love stories can end. A mutual goodbye at the subway station. Peaceful, yet painful. You guys decide to cut contact for a year, to make it easier getting over it. One of you works on self-improvement and making a bold statement by shaving her head, and the other one reunites with one's disregarded friends, and other things. When the year is over, you meet again. There's not many people in there, so the waiter curiously listens in on your conversation. About how you met on a beach in India, lived in Korea, traveled Asia and Europe. How each other changed after the breakup. And how this counts as a happy ending. When you get the check, the waiter asks what are the odds for a German guy and a Korean girl meeting in the middle of nowhere and going on an adventure like this. Simultaneously, you reply,
Not possible to explain India.
Here's a picture of the Taj Mahal, by the way. Okay, bye.